What's going on, Sports Wars? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost and GeeksGamers.com, and sports media has become so obsessed with virtue signaling and representation that they have created this massive double standard in their own industry between the way that men are treated and the way that women are treated. And if you look across the Twitter timeline right now, it is full of every single person in the sports media industry, whether they write for a paper or a website or even work for ESPN. They are defending Mina Kimes for all they're worth because they need to show that I'm going to stand up for Mina Kimes and defend her because she's a woman. Because how dare someone criticize an NFL analyst? How dare a former player criticize someone commenting on the NFL who's never played in the NFL? It has nothing to do with her gender. This has happened for years and will continue to happen. But no. When you look through Twitter, let's look at some of the reactions to this. You got Katie Nolan, you got Dan Orlovsky, you got Taylor Rooks, you got Chris Shepard, you got, I don't know who that is, some podcast or whatever. But when you look through, everybody right now is being so supportive of Mina Kimes against the mean Jeff Garcia. And we're going to get into why this is and why this is a massive, massive double standard. But let's take a look. Sports media continues to shield Mina Kimes from criticism. This is from Bobby Burak. Shout out Bobby Burak. And he's got a great point. And I'm going to show another example as to why. Twitter is mad. This time, former 49ers quarterback Jeff Garcia is the target of the wrath. Garcia committed a grave mortal sin when he criticized ESPN analyst Mina Kimes on Thursday. Earlier this week, Kimes belittled Jimmy Garoppolo's contribution to the 49ers, who advanced the NFC Championship game for the second time in 3 years. According to Kimes, the 49ers are winning despite Garoppolo, not because of him. Garoppolo is the definition of being part of a group project that takes an A while doing none of the work. Now, I think that's a reasonable criticism when you look at Jimmy Garoppolo and, how he struggled, especially since he came back from that injury, some decision-making problems. He didn't perform all that well in the game against the Green Bay Packers, but they did win the game. So I'm sure there's going to be some people that have a problem with that, some people that don't. Well, one person that didn't agree with her take was 49ers ex-quarterback Jeff Garcia. This is what he said. Who the hell is Mina Kimes, and when is the last time she threw a touchdown pass in a game? Never, ever has she taken a snap or can truly understand the ability, the mindset, the physical and mental toughness that it takes to play the quarterback position or any position in the NFL. The fact that there are people out here given a platform to talk about something they have never done is hilarious, and that's how you have to look at her. She's a joke. So let's just laugh at her and support Jimmy, root on our Niners to go out and beat the living fuck out of one more team. That's what it takes. She will never know that feeling. Can I get an amen? Peace. Now, I want you to remember everything Jeff Garcia said, the criticism about never being on the field. She'll never know what it feels like to take part in all this, what it takes, the mental toughness, the physical toughness, all that stuff. First of all, it's not geared towards her as a woman in any way. It's talking about someone who's never played the game. But I want you to remember that because we're going to play a video a little bit later about someone saying almost the exact same thing that Jeff Garcia is, except it's about a man who's commenting on sports who's never played the game. So keep that in mind. Because sports media members do not allow anyone to criticize Kimes, her colleagues and other bloggers immediately rush her defense, accusing Garcia of, wait for it, sexism. No, he didn't call her out for being a woman, even though so many people are trying to make it out to be exactly that. Garcia's comments are not sexist. Garcia believes that people who have never played football should not opine about those who have. I know a lot of people, professional athletes, who feel the same way, who I've seen express the same feelings. And therein lies the issue. Most NFL analysts, especially ESPN, have played professional football. In fact, Mina Kimes is the only person, man or woman, who has never played professional football yet holds the title of NFL analyst at ESPN. Dan Orlovsky, Marcus Spears, Keyshawn Johnson, and Ryan Clark all played in the NFL at one time or another. Now, I'm not a huge Mina Kimes fan. I don't despise her as much as I despise a lot of other ESPN personalities. I find her, witty sometimes and funny in others. But at the same time, I don't think that she's a huge net positive for ESPN. People are just clamoring for more Mina Kimes content for ESPN that's seen its ratings continue to fail and fail and fail as they've pushed more people into positions where maybe they're for diversity and representation as opposed to actually because people are demanding that type of content. But I want to bring something up. Again, we could scroll through Twitter all you want, and all it is Carrie Champion, Torrey Smith, Jeff Cap, like everybody, right? Everybody is out there defending Mina Kimes. We have to defend her. Now, she deleted a tweet. I don't know what she's deleted about, but she's liking a bunch of stuff. You go to her Twitter timeline, she's liking a bunch of stuff, bashing Jeff Garcia for being a sexist and defending her. I want to play this. This is from over a decade ago, all right? Jalen Rose, destroying Skip Bayless in a first take debate. The point of this debate was essentially Skip was saying, well, it doesn't matter if I or someone else has never played that sport. It doesn't mean you can't be a good coach. Doesn't mean you can't be a good commentator, whatever. Listen to Jalen Rose's response. Nothing to do with sexism. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody.
Well, this is the thing. There are people that have had success in our country that didn't graduate from high school, that didn't graduate from college. But you're not going to go tell kids to follow their lead because they're individual cases. For example, somebody like Bill Gates.
This is after Skip brought up like a couple instances of, oh, this guy didn't play football, but he's a successful coach, stuff like that.
He didn't graduate from college, right?
Okay, let's keep the sports context.
But he's had tremendous amount of success in his life. But when I go talk to a bunch of high school kids, I'm not going to use him as an example because he's one of a kind. And I say all that to say this. The reason why when you say or you demean other people that's done it is because you don't understand or respect the time, energy, and effort that has gone into being a professional.
Doesn't that sound very similar to what Jeff Garcia said about Mina Kimes? Huh, that's strange.
More than just watching the 48 minutes of the game. It's the physical, the mental, the emotional. You can't determine what goes on in the foxhole if you've never been in the foxhole. And the reason why people get on your case about that is because you're insensitive a lot of times to the fact when you say, oh, you know a whole heck of a lot about sitting. Well, I'd rather sit on the Phoenix Suns bench than wonder about how I'm going to pull a hamstring running on the treadmill like you do every day.
Right, so this has happened for years, literally for years, and it'll continue happening. People who have played at a professional level in the NFL, the NBA, whatever, I think a lot of them are instinctually going to look down on people who haven't because they don't have as much experience. That's just the bottom line. Now, it doesn't mean that no one who's played in the NFL or no one that's played in the NBA can't look at something to be able to analyze, be able to critique it, whatever. But this is just an attitude that professional athletes have. And I think there's some validity to it. I also think there's definitely exceptions to the rule. I'm sitting here commenting about sports all the time. Doesn't mean I have that level of experience, but it also doesn't mean that I can't sometimes see what's in front of my own eyes and look at that. But with that being said, the point of this is it has nothing to do with sexism. This is professional athletes reacting to someone who they don't think has the experience level required to talk about the game of football or basketball in Jalen Rose's case. That is why it's so ridiculous. And the fact that Jeff Garcia is being attacked as a sexist for simply criticizing Mina Kimes for something he didn't agree with is garbage. It explains the sports media that they are trying to do everything they can to protect Mina Kimes because, one, she's a woman, and two, she has the right politics. So, of course, they're going to run to her defense. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.